Let's be real, going through a breakup is one of the toughest things we experience. But sometimes the hardest part isn't even the breakup itself. It's that little glimmer of hope that sticks around afterward, the one that keeps you stuck, waiting, and wondering. Today, we're going to talk about why that hope can be a trap, and more importantly, how to finally break free. Does this feel a little too familiar? Your mind just keeps going back to them, right? You find yourself replaying old conversations, looking for little clues you might have missed, all while holding on to this quiet hope that maybe, just maybe, things will work out. If you're not in your head right now, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and we're going to figure out how to escape it.
You see, this is way deeper than just missing someone. What we're really getting into here is something called emotional dependency. It's when your happiness, your sense of self-worth, heck, even your vision for the future, is completely tangled up with what another person does or thinks. You've basically handed over the keys to your own inner peace.
So, what does this actually look like day to day? Well, it's that constant loop of thoughts about them. It's the regret that plays over and over in your mind. It's that sneaky, hidden hope for their return that stops you from actually moving forward. And when all your energy is pointed at them, guess what happens? Your own personal growth just stops. You're completely stalled out.
Okay, so this really boils down to two different paths you can take right now. On one side, you've got the trap. That's where you're focused on them coming back, you're waiting for some kind of miracle, and you're pretty much giving them all of your power. But then there's the path. And that's about focusing on your growth, really understanding your feelings, and taking your focus back where it belongs, on you. It's a choice between waiting for someone else or finally choosing yourself.
Look, moving from the trap to the path, it takes more than just a few gentle suggestions. It calls for a real decisive strategy. The source material for this explainer calls it dependency surgery. I know, it sounds intense, right? But the idea is that you have to make clean, precise cuts to finally set yourself free. So this surgery has 5 key steps. First, we have to cut the fantasy that's keeping us hooked. Then we need to grieve for real, without that hope getting in the way. After that, it's all about reclaiming your power, shifting to a zero-focus policy on them, and finally, redefining what it is you think you're missing. Let's jump into step 1.
All right, step 1. This is about making a really important distinction. The physical relationship might be over, but for so many of us, the mental relationship just keeps on going. We keep them alive in our heads, playing out what-if scenarios and imaginary conversations. And that is where the real battle of letting go is fought.
So here's your practical tool for this step. And it is so simple, it's almost genius. The moment, the very second, you catch yourself drifting off into that fantasy world, don't judge yourself. Just label it. Say to yourself, right now, I'm imagining. I'm not living. This tiny act of awareness is incredibly powerful. It yanks you out of the fantasy and plants you right back in your real life. Okay, on to step 2. Grieve for real. Because here's the thing. So often, what we call grieving is actually just waiting in disguise. That little shred of hope that they might come back, it actually stops us from ever truly feeling the loss. And ironically, feeling that loss is the only way to get through the pain for good. So I really want you to sit with this question for a minute. Seriously, if you knew with 100% certainty that they were never, ever coming back, how would you feel right now, in this moment? Sad? Angry? Maybe even a little relieved? Whatever that feeling is, the goal is to just let yourself feel it. Because acknowledged pain is temporary, but repressed pain, that becomes chronic. You have to let it in so that it can finally leave. Which leads us perfectly into step 3, reclaiming your power. I mean, think about it. As long as your happiness hinges on whether or not they text you back, or if they decide to return, you're not in the driver's seat of your own life. Your well-being is literally in someone else's hands. So here's a daily practice to start taking that power back. Every single day, I want you to ask yourself these 2 questions. Who am I without them? And what parts of myself have I forgotten? This isn't just some writing exercise. It's an act of rediscovery. You're separating your identity from the memory of the relationship and reconnecting with the person you are, all on your own. All right, deep breath for this next one. This is often the hardest step, but it is, without a doubt, the most liberating one. We're talking about a zero-focus policy on their return. This is the big one, folks. This is where you find your freedom. Here's the core idea. When your focus is constantly on them coming back, you are sending a nonstop message to your own brain that you are incomplete. You're living in a state of lacking something.
This is exactly why you have to stop the behaviors that feed this, like checking their social media or analyzing when they were last online. You have to recognize this isn't love, it's a powerful mental habit, and it's time to break it.
And now we're here, the final, and I think, the most transformative step of all. This is where we're going to completely reframe what it is you think you've actually lost.
Let's just pause on this for a second. Ask yourself this and be really honest. Are you missing them, the actual person, with all their quirks and flaws and complexities? Or are you missing the feeling you had when you were with them? The feeling of being loved, of being seen, of partnership. The big insight here is that most of the time, it's the feeling we're truly desperate for.
And you know what? That realization should feel amazing, because that gives you all the power back. If what you truly miss is a feeling, that means that feeling doesn't belong to them. It's replaceable. It's capable of growing into something even better. And yes, as this slide says, it is absolutely upgradable. You have the power to create that feeling for yourself again, maybe even with someone new.
So when you boil this whole thing down, you get to this final, simple equation. Emotional dependency, it was never really about the absence of them. It was about the absence of yourself. And freedom isn't about them returning to you. It's about you returning to yourself.
And that's the thought I really want to leave you with. We spend so much energy trying to get someone else back, when the real journey is all about getting yourself back. The real problem was never that you were abandoned by them. It was about the ways you might have abandoned yourself in the process. And the beautiful truth is, you are the one person you can always come home to.